Thanks very much, Stephen. It's great to be here, always at a CEDA function, and to see a number of friends here. There is nothing more important to talk about than the broader topic of growth for Australia, but also what role infrastructure plays in it. So welcome, and I'd like to add my congratulations to the various different members of the CEDA family who were honoured yesterday too. Now, having said that, what are these two documents? As you know, CEDA normally works on the basis of commissioning, well, first of all, deciding what is a major topic that we believe needs to be further considered about Australia and about how we can continue to foster the economic development of Australia. That's what we do for a living, and so we choose topics. We've got some really bright people who work on that. We've got to do it about a year out because there is a fairly long pipeline. And once we identify those topics, we commission research, we pull them together, and to some extent we're a curator then. Having chosen the topic, we then choose the people who we think have got something innovative and worthwhile to put into that debate. We put that together in our reports, which are the documents that you see normally throughout our year. And then we have the unique ability of being able to gather people like yourselves all around Australia with all our state divisions to actually launch and talk about and get that discussion going. And nobody else can do that in quite the same way as CEDA, and that's a function that we're very proud of. The two documents that we've released leading up to this election are a little different because we have not commissioned independent research. We basically said that there are times when CEDA would like to say something directly to the community and to our members and to our supporters, and the two documents that we put out this year are in that category. The first one was the one that I had the rather daunting pleasure of launching at the Press Club a couple of months ago. Was about fiscal balance, fiscal policy, and CEDA argued very strongly that this was really missing in the political debate. Of course it was there, but it was there as sort of motherhood at the end of the table. Broadly, a real willingness to say to the community that it is essential that we actually pay for what we're spending, that was absent in the political debate, and we believed that it was really important that we fast-track that debate and we really fast-track that balance. That came out a while ago. It got good coverage, good support. We're yet to see the political class entirely adopt it, but we knew that it was something which was difficult to digest, particularly running into this particular sort of election. But the reason why we said this was important was not only spending more money than you are raising is unfair to the next generation, it runs up debt, it actually weakens your economy for any of the changes that may roll down at you. All of those things are true, but the reason particularly we thought it was important to say that is because we believe that there is a complex set of reform agendas that lie before us in the next 3 to 4 years perhaps, but certainly a couple of terms. Australia has a lot to do to actually remain competitive, to actually be able to deliver higher standards of living, let alone the improved social conditions that everybody wants and wants to pay for. We have a lot to do, and one of the reasons why we felt that fiscal strength was important was because it was the base upon which we could have the discussion about all the other things that we needed to do. And this report today basically gives our view of the big ones. I would encourage you you don't need to necessarily wade through all the 80 pages because it's not designed for that, although wonderful if you do, but it's more a template. It is a thing against which you are to judge. So that when somebody comes along and says, I would like to do X and Y and Z, we find it really helpful to actually have some basic principles and priorities that we can come back to and say, well, will it deliver to any of our template priorities? And that is what the value of this document is. It is CEDA's go at saying that these are the things we are going to have to get right. And I might say it's not 4 out of 10 it is 10 out of 10. A lot of them are related, of course, but broadly, to really pull off the optimum economic development of Australia, which is what we are all about in this room, we will need to be good at all 10 of them. And I'll just quickly run through what they are: innovation, competition policy, education, workforce participation, infrastructure. There you are, guys, you're number 5, and it isn't ranked in importance. Fiscal resilience, which is our previous go. Tax reform, federalism, some of you might know that that's one of my old favourites. Workplace relations, which is different from participation, and climate change. They're the 10. They're the 10 that we believe we have to get right. So in launching this today, what I would like you to do is to think about that, read particularly the bits that are pertinent to what you do, but try and spread the message as best you can that we have to set priorities and we have to decide what matters and what's important. And there are certainly champions in the room who actually have been at the forefront of a lot of this, and particularly I see Peter Harris sitting next to me. The Productivity Commission is one of those places where a consistent voice for these issues has been heard, but there are many others also in the room. So I look forward to the discussion generally. We'll be talking about infrastructure from here on, but I just wanted you to make sure that you didn't forget the other 9. Thanks very much.